I think I might have a fucking problem.
Flashing out a rolling marijuana.
Thinking about getting more to the bank, but they won't let me in cause I smell like dank. I think I might have a motherfucking problem.
Get it.
I think I might have a motherfucking problem.
YouTube, what's happening? It's your boy, and if you don't know, now you know. All the way gang, it's your boy, all the way sincere, and we are in here on this NBA Live 19. Now, first and foremost, I hope y'all are being safe out there. Man, we got to get back to this bag, man, so please, bro, stay in the house, man. Social distance when you go outside, and quarantine if at all possible, man. We need to stop the spread of this virus, man, so we can get back to this money. Now, we are going to look at the slasher versus the floor general today. This is a video that we are going to, it's going to be part 2 for us. So it's basically going to take care of the rest of the guards, and then we're going to move on to the wings. Now in this video, we are going to do like a deep dive into the attributes. And then at the very end, I'll probably give a few suggestions. All right. We're going to cover the primary and secondary skills first. Next thing we'll cover is the icon abilities, then the icon skills. And then we'll cover the icon paths. So let's get right into it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the primary and secondary skills on the slasher first. Now, the primary skills that you'll get is going to be layup and dribbling. These will go up to a 95, and I really feel like the one that's most important is the layup, bro. Layups are so underrated in this game simply because, bro, when you think about it, they integrated WNBA players into this game so heavily, right? Even when you play the one, at any given time, there could be any number of WNBA players and NBA players on the court at the same time. So WNBA players, although you could make a female player that could catch bodies and dunk on people and all that shit, WNBA players are not gonna have a very high dunk attribute at all. But some of them even have the slasher icon, right? But if you're going against NBA players that are gonna be taller, more physical, how are you gonna finish in the paint if you're a slasher? Well, you overpower the layup, bro, where like because you have such a high layup, the animation is actually gonna like cancel out like block animations a lot of times where they are not gonna get the necessary block animation and you're gonna hit the layup. To illustrate this point, let's take like weaker players, because there's a lot of players that don't have a high shot block. Say you're going against a backcourt shooter, wing shooter, anything like that. Wing shooter could be 6'9", so you only have like a 60 to a 65 shot block, right? But you make a 6'3" player that has a 95 layup, right? When you guys meet at the rim, bro, when you meet at the rim with them, you are gonna win that exchange most times, even though they're taller than you, even if they have more defensive position, because they don't have a high enough shot block attribute to trigger the necessary animation to like cancel out your layup, bro, and block your layup. So you are just gonna go over them and get the layup up anyway, bro. So all they can really do is get defensive position and try to have a good contest to see if they can make you miss, man. So it's really, really overpowered, so much so where you don't really have to worry about a dunk animation or a dunk attribute on this build. Now the secondary skills that you get, they're all gonna max out at 88. It's gonna be mid-range shooting and shooting off the dribble and passing, bro. We know this is necessary for a slasher because they put so much pressure on collapsing the defense. Now, when you look at mid-range shooting and shooting off the dribble, this is something I feel like that's so mishandled on slashers. Most slashers, almost every slasher I see, they don't utilize these attributes like to their advantage, because basketball is a game of balance, right? When you have a slasher, you're constantly putting the defense on their heels, right? Even when you slash, think about the act of being at the 3-point line and then slashing in. The defender is gonna have to back up on their heels, open their hips up and turn, run with you, and then anticipate a block or a swipe at the ball when you get ready to go up and finish in the paint. But in this game, like, step backs are so cheesy, bro, and they qualify as a shot off the dribble that you can just, while they're doing all of that, now all their momentum is going towards the goal, you can stop on a dime, and just step back and push your momentum back the opposite way and get a wide open shot. But I never see slashers use this. If you're thinking about making a slasher, please consider it. It's something that NBA Live was even thinking about, and we'll talk about that with the icon abilities and how they built the build. Now, floor generals are probably one of the more underrated builds in the game because they are so balanced, bro. And it's a lot of builds in the game that have heavy balance, but this is one of the more balanced builds in the game if you use it right. The primary skills on this build would be passing and dribbling. Of course, passing would be the highlight because you can just throw dots, bro. Like literally the pass speed and accuracy that you're throwing things around the court, as long as you take advantage of it, is really dope. And then also getting assists helps your icon abilities anyway, so you want to utilize that attribute. But then when you look at the secondary skills, you can see how this player is very well rounded. We just got through talking about the layup and how important it is, so now we have something that allows us to finish effectively at the goal. But then also we have mid-range shooting, so we got something where we can actually pull jumpers, and then we get this steal rating at an 88, bro. With the right icon ability, this build really low-key is a baby backcourt defender, and it really plays good defense. So this is a two-way shooter or two-way rebounder, bro. This build can do just a lot. Just almost any box you can think about checking on your build, this build can kind of get it done. So I like this build and how it's set up, and we'll talk about the icon abilities here next. So let's go ahead and get into it. So when you're looking at the icon abilities on the slasher, you get three different ones to choose from. You can choose from Russell Westbrook, Beast Mode. You can choose from Allen Iverson, the Answer, or you can choose from Candace Parker, the Spark. Now, when you look at Beast Mode, the icon ability and path is going to be on change of possession. You're granted a temporary speed boost and increased ability at finishing at the rim. The idea of this build is to show you a certain type of speed and power that you don't normally see. When you look at Allen Iverson, the Answer, making a jump shot will increase your ability to beat defenders off the dribble, make your step backs more effective, and boost your finishing. So this is exactly what I was talking about shooting off the dribble and mid-range shooting. Candace Parker, and I put her in my underrated icon abilities. Bro, finishing at the rim increases your ability to blow by the defender and also makes you more accurate in the mid-range. When you start to look at what her icon skills are, and we'll talk about that in a second here, bro, like she is low-key crazy, and I'm gonna talk about this because it's a dope icon ability. I highly recommend, if you build a slasher, go through all three of these so you can switch through them whenever you want, because all three of them are really good. Now, floor generals, and I really feel like Chris Paul and Jason Kidd, what better floor generals than these? Chris Paul's ability is getting an assist will boost your three-point shooting and your defensive skills at the same time, bro. So even though you don't have a very high on-ball defense, you do have a high steal, and if you get an assist, your on-ball defense and your steal will go up. So you're gonna be like a baby backcourt defender, and bro, you can get assist all the time on this build. It's hella easy, bro, trust me. So this is one of the better icon abilities in the game, and once you see the icon path that you go through, it's even better, bro. Jason Kidd's is basically the ability from NBA Live 18. Hitting an open teammate with a pass will give the teammate a substantial boost to both shooting and finishing, bro. This is the same one from the Playmaker and NBA Live 18. It was something that I love because I used the Playmaker. Playmaker was like my favorite build. So let's go ahead and move on to the icon skills. All right, so let's go ahead and cover the icon skills, all right? Now, when you look at Beast Mode Russell Westbrook, which you know, that's triple-double guy. You already know what it is. Dunk is going to start out at an 85, which of course, like I said before, the idea of this build is to like approach and attack with a certain type of speed and power. But he also gets another +6 to his dunk. So it turns from an 85 to a 91, which is higher than a secondary skill, which is dope. So of course he's gonna be attacking the paint and catching bodies like crazy. You get a +6 to your 3-point shot, but one thing I want to make sure that I point out, if you're deciding between all 4 guards and you're trying to figure out, well, you know, do I want to go with backcourt defender, for instance? Both a backcourt defender and a slasher, they don't have any 3-point shooting for primary and secondary, but they get a +6, right? The slasher has a lower starting attribute than the backcourt defender. So basically what I'm getting at is the backcourt defender is going to shoot threes better. So even after you get they get the same +6, but the slasher has a lower 3-point shot starting out than a backcourt defender. Just if you wanted to know and you were like comparing backcourt defender to slasher, that's something that I wanted to point out. Now, rebounding and steals, you get a +6 because, of course, like I said, triple-double guy, they had to make sure this build was well-rounded, and then you get a +3 to your speed. Now, Allen Iverson, he turns into like something of like a baby like backcourt defender like we talk about with our floor general, because you get an 85 steal on this build, but you also are going to get a +3 to your on-ball defense as well, and that's going to help you play a little bit better on-ball defense so you can trigger those steal animations. You also get a +3 to your dunk, and you get a +3 to your 3-point shot and inside shot. Now, one thing I want to point out, and I'll go ahead and say you get a +3 to your speed, but one other thing I want to point out on Allen Iverson that is hidden is you get a +3 to your contested shot here, and then you get another +3 to your contested shot here. So that's a hidden skill boost where you get a +6 to your contested shot within his icon path, bro, and it's not listed on this chart right here. So if you're thinking about building a slasher, just keep in mind you get an additional +6 to your contested shot as well. So that's an extra attribute. Now, Candace Parker is very, very underrated, bro. Like one of the more underrated ones in the game, and I'm gonna explain why. First, you get an 85 shot block. This can be really cheesy on a guard because you're gonna be fast, and then like I said, this game is strictly animation based, bro. Like just because you have an 85 shot block, you gonna block shots, trust me. Make her tall as you can and you'll be dope. But also other things, shooting off the dribble. Let me talk about that first. The shooting off the dribble on this particular icon is crazy because you get a 94 shot out of the dribble, because you get a +6 and you already have an 88 shot off the dribble, but you get a +6 to it. So it's another primary skill basically. It goes from 88 to 94 now, and then your passing goes from 88 to a 91. So this is a crazy good point guard. Now you only get a +3 to your 3-point shot, but you get a +6 to your inside shot as well, and she also doesn't get anything on her speed, but this is a mid-range beast, bro. I'm telling you, she is very good. Now let's go ahead and look at the floor general. Chris Paul gives you an 85 to the 3-point shot, which is crazy good, and this just gives you so much balance. Now we can lay up mid-range and shoot the 3, and we can play defense, and we get a buff to our on-ball defense, because you can see we get a +3 on our on-ball defense, but our icon ability helps us as well. Now you see how balanced this build is. You also get a +6 to your rebounding and a +6 to your shooting off the dribble, and you get a +3 to your inside shot and speed. So I like this build and the balance on it. Jason Kidd is extremely unique in the fact that he's going to be a guard, but he gives you an 85 rebound, but if you look down there, you get a +6 to your rebounding. So you have a 91 rebound on a guard, bro. And with that type of speed, those animations that you're gonna trigger to get those rebounds, you're gonna be skying up, jumping over like small forwards, stealing rebounds left and right, bro. Trust me, like I said, this game is heavily animation based and tied in with your attributes. You're gonna trigger so many rebound animations that people with a low rebound won't. Now you also get a +6 to your on ball defense, so you become a better on ball defense player, and then you also get a +6 to your inside shot, a +3 to your 3-point shot, a +3 to your speed, +3 to your strength. So I really like that as well. Now with that said, let's go ahead and look at the path, the icon paths, and then we'll button this up. I'll give you some suggestions. Alright, so now we're gonna look through the icon paths. I'm just gonna go through the choices that you have to make, not the full path. That way we can fly through this, and then I'll make some suggestions at the end. Now, the first thing with beast mode that we'll get to select is gonna be an accuracy boost to inside shooting or increased speed when sprinting. I would actually take the increased speed when sprinting. The only reason why I really view it in that way is just because, bro, you already have a 95 layup. You're gonna have a 91 dunk on this build. You're gonna get boost to your dunking and finishing abilities all over the place. So why not go with the increased speed when sprinting? Because you also, from your icon ability, get another speed boost as well. And that's gonna make this player fast on a whole nother level that you, like, the defender can't really comprehend. You're gonna be able to move in a way that they're not used to. So I would absolutely do that. It makes this player unique. Now, on the next particular choice you get to make, you get an accuracy boost to your inside scoring, inside shooting anyway. So you could always just put it on this time. But honestly, you could go with the upgrade timer too if you want to, because on change of possession, you might not necessarily have the ball, or you might not necessarily be able to score right away. So you keep that icon ability going longer. Now, the last thing on this build that's crazy is this is basically an extra trait, and this trait is really overpowered and should be in the game for anybody to have, but only Russell Westbrook gets this. Increased likelihood of dunking on an opponent, bro. This is crazy because it's basically posterizer or contact finisher badges from like 2K, right? This just enhances your ability to dunk on people. So I love this. This should be able to be put on any player, but only this player gets this. So I would absolutely go with this. Now, when you look at Allen Iverson's first choice he gets to make is either a boost to inside shooting or a boost to his one-on-one skills and step backs, bro. We already talked about how overpowered the step backs are. Now you get a boost to your handle and skills in that type of scenario. So I love that. Next thing we get to choose from is upgrade timer or gain an extra stack. You can do what you want there. And the last thing you get is a greater mentality impact to both you and your defender after causing an ankle breaker or getting a green release gains full stacks. It's very easy to get a wide open step back jumper in the mid range and get a green release, get full stacks. Now you all in, my boy, and you just causing problems the whole time. Now, looking at Candace Parker, the first thing that she's gonna get is either an accuracy boost or a mid-range shooting or increased time windows for one-to-one moves. This is totally up to you on what you want to do and how you play. You could always go with the mid-range shooting buff to make it feel like a primary skill more than a secondary skill. I like the idea of that. Now, the next thing is going to be an upgrade timer or a extra stack, and you do whatever you want. And the last thing is give your teammates a mentality boost whenever you dunk the ball or causing an ankle breaker grants create a greater mentality boost. Now, looking at Chris Paul, bro, this is one of the more overpowered options that you have because it enhances his icon ability even further, so it doubles down on it, and you get to choose between defense or three-point shooting. I really feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if you pick the three-point shooting. It's pointless because it's all about buffing your three-point shot. You already have an 85 and your icon ability already enhances that. Why do you need to double down on it when you have a defensive bonus that covers more skills? Like, you already have an 88 still. Your icon ability buffs that. Say it buffs it +5, right? That means you have like a 93 still, but this doubles down on that. So now you get an even higher still. But not only that, this buffs all your defense. So you get a higher buff to your blocking and a higher buff to your own ball defense. So now your own ball defense is even higher, and it's even harder to get around you, and it's even easier to trigger steals. This affects more, so go with the defense, bro. Trust me when I tell you that. Next thing is gain an extra stack of icon ability or upgrade the timer longer. I would go with a longer timer simply because it's hella easy to get stacks because everybody want to shoot, so it's easy to pass the ball and get an assist, bro. Trust me. Assist will grant the scoring player a 1 possession boost to shooting, or assist will grant the scoring player a 1 possession boost to perimeter defense. Now again, choose the defense, bro. Say you assist, right? As soon as you assist and they in like the player on your team scores, you get a buff to your defense and he gets a buff to the defense on the change of possession. You instantly feel the impact of it. But if you go with the shooting, you have to wait all the way through a possession, like another, like there are the other team's offensive possession. So they could lose that buff, but not only could they lose that buff, but then you need to try to force feed that person that got that shooting buff the ball so they can take advantage of it. Now, looking at the icon path of Jason Kidd gives you a boost to your 3-point shooting or inside shot. I would absolutely go with that 3-point shot because he doesn't have a very high 3-point shot and he only gets a +3, so that'll further enhance that. That'll give you the ability to green 3-point shots. Then you could go with a buff to your mid-range shots, or you could do the timer for longer for the shooter. So that's totally up to you. I wouldn't go with the mid-range shot in this particular situation just because there's not a lot of spacing to be had and this player doesn't play very well off the dribble. So I would go with the icon timer. And then the last thing is this is also an additional trait slot basically that's locked in. Impact reduction when a defender is late to contest your shot. That's basically late to the party. So you got built in late to the party on this build. Now for my recommendations, I would say go with Chris Paul first and then come back and do Jason Kidd. I think they're both worth it, but I do believe that Chris Paul is more well-rounded if you want to be just explosive and crazy good offensively, but can run a team. But the monstrous defense that this player has, this is like the second best defensive guard almost. Now when you look at the slasher, bro, it's hard to say. Like I can't even make a decision. The only reason why I say that is because this player is like a juggernaut offensively. If you notice, this player doesn't have any buffs to his on ball defense whatsoever, so you have to play with good stick skill or else you'll get cooked. This build is better though defensively, and you can steal the ball and you get a good on-ball defense, and it's a very, very good offensive player. And then the last one, bro, Candace Parker, bro, she's just so underrated. Trust me when I tell you, this player is really good because not having steal but having shot block, you think that would be useless on the guard, but it's not. Trust me, it's good. And her shot off the dribble is so solid and the passing is so good. I just wish she had a better 3-point shot. Hopefully y'all are messing with the video, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well so you can know when we post. And as always, respect the OGs. Peace.